Okay, everybody. Here we got my high-tech intro. Joe over here at Hobby Pros, and I got another good one for you today. This one hopefully is going to be short and sweet. Oh my God, I'm tripping over stuff. Oh my God, I don't want to trip and fall and break something. Especially like something on me or my airplane, heaven forbid. Most of us would rather break our arm than break our airplane. We're in the middle of a building. So what I got going on here today is we've got these these boom mounts, and what they're for is, and I might have already explained it once, is that they're for the rudders. That as usual, I didn't prepare quite as good. Here's one of the rudders. I'll just show it to you really quick how it works. Of course, it's way in the bottom of the bag. So the rudder ultimately mounts onto the elevator, the horizontal stab onto here. What I'm going to do is attach this, I don't know, bracket, I guess you call it. And I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this video here today. I just want to get through the how-tos of it. So hopefully we got this in shot, and I'll do my best. And here's the bracket. And what I've already done is I have kind of scored up the styrofoam right in here so get a little more bite, and I've actually scored this bracket. It might be hard to see, and the way I did that was I just took my X-Acto knife and I made a bunch of kind of diagonal lines, and I went back and kind of crisscrossed them, and I did it on both sides. Then there's a little piece of and it fits on here, and it slips over the carbon rod. Okay, a little piece that fits back here to kind of pretty it up, and a piece that fits up here to pretty up. And I'm just going to do one side of this today, mostly because, and I honestly didn't go look, but I got 3 clamps sitting here that are pretty much the perfect ones to do this. So that's what we're going to do. I've already mixed the epoxy. Well, I've actually poured it in. Now I'm going to mix it. I don't need too much to do this. I hate wasting anything if we don't have to, but that's kind of what happens when you're playing with epoxy. You always waste a certain amount of it. And I really, really want to try and keep this to a minimum as far as how much glue I put in there. It doesn't need to be a lot. And so what I'll do is I'll line this part right here with epoxy. Try to get up here on this little ledge here and kind of get it tucked in there. And I'll do this part. And this is 30-minute by epoxy, by the way. So I got plenty of time to kind of play with it. So it shouldn't be a problem. I had to actually, on the SkyHunter, I had to cut this out a little bit right in here to fit the carbon fiber rod right there. That was not a big deal because these things, how do I explain it? They're all the same, even though there's rights and lefts. Well, they're all like rights, or they're all lefts, or whatever the situation is with this thing. And why they couldn't have gone the extra mile and made a mirror image of them. And the problem with that is it's actually gonna look goofy, I think, when this airplane is done. And I guess I'll point that out a little bit later, what I'm talking about exactly there. But I have a couple ideas on how to reinforce this, because I don't think this exact kind of setup here is the best. I'm going to make sure I put a little extra glue on this carbon fiber, because that's probably one of the strongest things holding this whole deal here together. And I said I scored the other parts and I sanded the back of these. And these come as one piece, but it seemed like it fit better just to kind of cut this. There was kind of a half done slot. So we just put these in there. This is just going to pretty it up a little bit. And having never done this before, I just kind of have a plan of attack here. And we're going to use some blue tape and try and pull this bracket, I guess, toward the stab. I want to just kind of, I'm hoping it's going to come out 90 degrees. And I probably should have, I don't know. We'll see how it comes out. And I got these quick grip bracket, or quick grip clamps. And Hopefully I'll be able to get at it, because I didn't plan this, and maybe it won't even freaking work after all this effort. If they don't reach far enough. They should, though. We'll find out here. This might end up out of shot a little bit, but try and get this to clamp down on here. And I don't seem to want to work that way. I figures we're going to have an issue here. I wanted to clamp it to make sure it kind of gave some pressure on it and made it straight. Let me see if I don't have a different clamp over here somewhere that might actually work. I really only need one of them making it work right. Plus the ones I got are like big. And I guess I didn't get this through enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just try and tape it. And I'll sit here for the next 20 minutes and kind of make sure everything's getting a little bit of pressure on it. So I got this tape up in the front. And is that at 90? I don't like pretty close. I like right on. But I think for this particular situation I suddenly find myself in, a little toothpick here and just kind of flatten out some of this glue that oozed out. I don't have much of a problem with our glue being on the top. Just to kind of hold it in place, we'll put this tape down here. Just kind of use it for a clamp. It'll hold it on there. And boy, oh boy. I do have a 90-degree thingy majiggy, but it probably won't work good here in this case because this round part is in the way. What I might have to do is, I do attach the rudders. I hate to do things kind of halfway, but God, where are those little right angles at? I've got some, I just don't know where they're at. Yeah, unprepared. So I'm going to do what's called the eyeball technique. And okay, I eyeballed it, looks good. And as long as this piece is, keep pressing down on this right in here. As long as it's seated in there. For some reason I'm not putting too much pressure on it with the tape. It looks pretty close. Sometimes close works. You just got to trim it out and make it work. I hate to be that way, but it's looking like at this point, since I've already got the glue on there, I don't have much of a choice. So there we go. Now, considering the situation is, and I don't have enough glue mix to do the other one. Plus it's already setting up probably. I think as long as I keep putting pressure on these two little additional foam pieces I put on here. And especially here in a little bit, after about 15 minutes, I'll probably take the tape off and just apply pressure, keep applying pressure to the foam over the next half hour or so. It should naturally settle into the right spot. So I'm going to go with that and say, there you go. That's how we do that. Time will only tell if that worked out well. That's all I got. See you. Bye.